everyone take your seats? We will start the program soon. We will begin the workshop shortly. We are waiting for our academic advisor, Sir Justice Tawfiquddin, sir. Good afternoon. The question is not whether intelligent machines can have any emotions, but whether machines can be intelligent without any emotions. Keeping this invigorating thought of Marvin Minsky in mind, we have gathered here to take part in the one-day workshop organized by our esteemed legal institution, Haldia Law College, a unit of iCare. A very good afternoon to one and all present in the Radha Binod Pal Seminar Hall. This is Lyceti Pratibha, Assistant Professor of Haldia Law College, the host of this ceremonious afternoon. Cordially welcome you all to participate in this day. It's an honor in itself to acknowledge the precious presence of our eminent dignitaries and guests. The auspicious occasion is honored by Honorable Justice Tawfiquddin Sir, retired Judge, High Court at Calcutta and Academic Advisor of Haldia Law College. Our chief guest, Shri Nikhil Boran Bishwas, Joint Secretary, West Bengal Council of Higher Education, Department of Higher Education under Government of West Bengal. Mrs. Jaya Mukherjee Bishwas ma'am, entrepreneur. Dr. Bidesh Chakravarti, Professor and Head of Department, Computer Science and Engineering, Artificial Intelligence Machine Learning, Haldia Institute of Technology, Haldia. Dr. Shavik Kumar Guho sir, Associate Professor, Law and Technology, West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. Mrs. Sanchari Guha, Data Analyst and Researcher, Ex-Litem Private Limited. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected guests and dignitaries, faculty members, technical and administrative staff, students. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this thought-provoking workshop on navigating AI in the legal arena, balancing innovation with ethical and legal responsibility. We are standing at a powerful intersection of law and technology, an age where artificial intelligence is no longer just a concept from science fiction, but where a transformative force reshaping how we work, think, and deliver justice. From predictive legal analytics to AI-assisted contract review and virtual courtrooms, the legal profession is evolving faster than ever before. But with great innovation comes great responsibility. As we embrace these AI-driven tools, we must also confront important questions. How do we uphold fairness, transparency, and privacy in AI-powered legal system? Where do we draw the line between efficiency and ethical obligation? And most importantly, how do we ensure that AI serves justice rather than disrupts it? We are honored to have with us an esteemed lineup of legal experts, technologists, and researchers who will guide us through the complexities and possibilities of this new era. Now, I would like to request the dignitaries and everyone present in this August gathering to rise and mark this auspicious celebration with a tribute to our national anthem.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Please take your seats. The flames of fire brighten the surroundings and guide us in the right direction. The essence of knowledge ignites and enlightens our minds. On this special day, let us embrace the aura of light and embark on our noble venture. Thus, I would like to request our esteemed guests to light the lamp and brighten this ceremonious afternoon. Sir, ma'am, please. Thank you, sir and ma'am. Now it's time to greet our dignitaries. Our faculty members of Haldia Law College will honor our guests with a flower bouquet. Honorable Justice Tawfiquddin sir is being felicitated with a flower bouquet and a memento by Protim Sarkar sir, Associate Professor, Haldia Law College. Our chief guest, Shri Nikhil Boran Bishwas, Joint Secretary, West Bengal Council of Higher Education, Department of Higher Education under Government of West Bengal. Sir will be felicitated by our Principal Sir, Dr. Samit Kumar Maiti Datto. Thank you, sir. Mrs. Joya Mukherjee Bishwas, entrepreneur, will be felicitated by our administrative head, Pooja ma'am. Dr. Videsh Chakraborty, Professor and Head of Department, Computer Science and Engineering, Artificial Intelligence Machine Learning, Haldia Institute of Technology, Haldia. Sir will be felicitated by our Dr. Dolly Bishwas ma'am, Assistant Professor, Haldia Law College. Dr. Shauvik Kumar Guho, Associate Professor, Law and Technology, the West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. Sir will be felicitated by our Kasturi Ghoshal ma'am, Assistant Professor, Haldia Law College. Mrs. Sanchari Guho ma'am, Data Analyst and Researcher, Ex-Litum Private Limited. Ma'am is going to be felicitated by our Rumi Chakravarti ma'am, Assistant Professor, Haldia Law College. Dr. Samit Maiti Datta sir, Principal, Haldia Law College, is going to be felicitated by our Oindrila Ghosh ma'am, Assistant Professor, Haldia Law College. Dr. Protim Sarkar, Associate Professor, Haldia Law College, and is going to be felicitated by Dr. Priyanka Shen Gupta ma'am, Assistant Professor, Haldia Law College. I would request students to give a big round of applause for all our esteemed guests and dignitaries and teachers present here. To officially begin the day, I now invite Honorable Justice Tawfiquddin Sir, retired judge, High Court at Calcutta and academic advisor, Haldia Law College, to deliver the welcome address and set the tone for today's deliberation. Sir, please.
Namaskar. Good morning. I thank profusely for the organization to make such a wonderful arrangement for a subject which to my estimation appears to be still in nascent stage. Anyway, when the subject has been picked up, as a layman in this sphere of education, since it is within my domain, at the risk of excuse, I cannot but mention that for the young birds, it may go extremely hard with them to digest the ins and outs of the subject in question. Man is by nature to acquire knowledge by degrees. To understand this subject, that is, navigating the legal profession in view of the advancement of artificial intelligence, I think that we are required to go back to some preliminary stages. Education is nobody's monopoly. It is acquired by degrees. Old order changeth, yielding place to the new. This phraseology is universal and unique in nature. There is no denying. Before the advent of artificial engineering, a human body with flesh and blood used to act and react in terms of expression, understanding, depression, to capture joyous moods, and all the more to understand which is what, when is what, and how is what. Anyway, to go back, at the risk of excuse, I cannot but resist one utterance. With due respect to all other streams of science and humanities and commerce, safely it can be said that though other subjects have derived benefit out of the product of artificial intelligence, the genesis is none else but mathematics. Whereas the artificial intelligence is the species. So to speak, the parent of artificial intelligence is mathematics. It is the bedrock on which the concept of artificial intelligence was attempted to be put in shape way back in perhaps 1950 by tourists. Anyway, at that time, one human being was asked to correlate with another human being. But in the meantime, as an entrepreneur, a machine retorted and replied correctly. The concept grew its ground gradually, and now we are here. How mathematics is the backbone of artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is equal to, if we have the breakup, artificial is equal to not real, a manufactured or an invented item. Intelligence is a kind of abstract quality possessed by human beings with flesh and blood. So previously what we have seen, that a human being can move, can talk, can ask questions, can solve problems, can forecast about the future probabilities, all these things. But how this subject is taking place of a human being? A rising question is around the corner nowadays, whether a time may come when artificial intelligence can reach up to the stage of giving birth to a living animal. The time will say, and perhaps it is too premature stage to speak on these points. Anyway, how artificial intelligence is computed? It is a computerized device method through which, just like human being, the machines are to solve problems, are to dictate terms, are to forecast the outcomes, and all the more to say what is going to happen. In doing all these works, what are the components? The components are linear algebra, both differential and integral calculus. I don't know whether you have any, you have not yet been taught in the school living the calculus perhaps, or some other intricacies of mathematics. Anyway, based on logarithm, the artificial intelligence, the ball of artificial intelligence was set in motion. So, linear algebra, matrix, vector analysis, calculus, statics, even dynamics, probability, as well as statics are extremely needed for the purpose of success in artificial intelligence. Practically, those subjects has contributed to the growth of artificial intelligence. Anyway, this is the précis of the artificial. To my estimates, I have no master, not to speak of mastery, but not the semblance of knowledge over this subject. That is, it is a new subject nowadays anyway. I am very poor in the intricacies and nitty-gritties of this subject anyway. So now, what are the merits and demerits? It is a cost-saving, time-saving measure. It anticipates the possibility of impending danger. It gives light to address, to overcome, to sidetrack the danger, and all these things. This is the broad spectrum. Now, what is the impact of artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence in regard to the development of legal aspect? Without understanding any other branches, it can be safely said The prior to 1961, the intelligent students standing the higher echelons in the classes and doing very good in the final exams, used to take up laws. Not 10%, but the bulk portion. The history says like this. Because at that point of time, the legal profession was not only a noble one, but also the very lucrative professions. History says and demonstrates like this. Anyway, now the legal profession nowadays can be termed as outdated, but a brighter ray of hope is in the offing after the advent of artificial engineering. This helps the legal professions how to make case records, case dockets, what are the points which have been missed in earlier litigations that can be incorporated, what are the probable questions, what are the probable challenges, what are the moot points, moot questions, how the advocate is to prepare himself for fighting the case in a court of law. Anyway, this is one type of advantage. Even such device can give it or forecast what may be the probable result, whether X will win in the battle in the legal field or he will lose in the Supreme Court or so. This even can be forecasted. But still then, there are some deficiencies which are yet to be taken care of and addressed properly. Say, for example, when after application of algorithm in terms of linear algebra, the previous historical data and inputs are stored. Then is every possibility of commission of mistakes when historical mistakes crept in either advertently or advertently therein. If those data and figures are incorporated in the data grid, there is every likelihood that there may be omissions and commissions. Therefore, we will have to take guard against these things. Another thing is this. There is a question of biasness. The data grids may take recourse to a particular line of actions where, like a one idea, one view was propagated and that was stored. But if those data are reflected in the present circumstances, there is every possibility of taking place of biasness. This aspect has to be taken care of. Next is lack of transparency. The litigants, the human beings, are not prepared to accept anything without any logic. Some say that the product of artificial intelligence is not sacrosanct. There may creep in some omissions, commissions, or loopholes, or lapses, or errors. The parties should be given the option to contest the artificial intelligence verdicts or its result. This should be done. Last but not the least aspect of this aspect, I don't want to linger my speech because I am very shallow knowledge over the subject. Anyway, that is the present trend in the society. The birth of cybercrime. It is a byproduct of artificial engineering. You see, thousands of even qualified and non-qualified, conscious and non-conscious persons are being deprived by online transaction, fraudulent cyber crime perpetrators or some other persons, jamming and blocking of messages. All these things are taken care. If those matters are not properly addressed to, our attempt to treat artificial intelligence as a tool for advancement will rather be a myth. So it should be my earnest expectation and desire that all these concerns should be properly addressed. Please listen to the specialist persons who are donning the seat here. I wish that you will be in a position to learn more from them. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. It is my great privilege to introduce the chief guest for today's workshop, a distinguished administrator and visionary leader. Shri Nikhil Boran Bishwas, Joint Secretary, West Bengal Council of Higher Education, Department of Education, under Government of West Bengal. Hailing from Gaighata village in North 24 Parganas district, Sir obtained his higher secondary degree from Gaighata High School and earned a BCom degree honors from Habra Sri Chaitanya College of Commerce, followed by a master's degree from the University of Calcutta. Passed the PSC examination in the year 1989 and joined the Finance Department of the Government of West Bengal as a Class 1 officer. Gained work experience and the opportunity to interact with people while serving in various roles, including Treasury Officer in the districts of Bankura, Uttar Dinajpur, and North 24 Parganas. Worked as financial advisor and special secretary in the school education department at Bikash Bhavan. Currently serving as joint secretary at the West Bengal Council of Higher Education under Department of Higher Education, Government of West Bengal. I would like to request sir to please come and give speech. Sir, please.
সবাইকে শুভেচ্ছা এবং নমস্কার জানাই। আমি বাংলাতেই বলছি। স্টুডেন্টরা সামনে আছেন, আমার তো খুব ভালোই লাগছে যে সেই স্কুল লাইফের দিনগুলো মনে পড়ছে, স্কুল কলেজ। আমি খুব গ্রামেই মানে জন্ম এবং বড় হয়েছি, যেখান থেকে 2.5 কিলোমিটার দূরে ছিল যশোর রোডের রাস্তা। যাই হোক, ছোট্ট গ্রাম, সবুজ, কাঁচা রাস্তা, নদী, স্কুল মাঠ, খেলাধুলো, পড়াশোনার চেয়ে বেশি আর কি, খেলাধুলো বা দৌড়াদৌড়ি এই সমস্ত করে। গাইঘাটা হাই স্কুলে আমি যখন পড়ছি 79-এ, তখন প্রথম নতুন হায়ার সেকেন্ডারি সিলেবাস চালু হলো 10+2 সিস্টেম। তার আগে 11-এ হায়ার সেকেন্ডারি কমপ্লিট হতো। 10+2 তখন স্টার্ট হচ্ছে, আমি তার সেকেন্ড ব্যাচ। 80-তে আমার এইচএস আমি কমপ্লিট করেছি। যাই হোক, সেরকম কোনো আমার তরঙ্গ বা কোনো বিশেষ ঘটনা ছিল না। শুধু একটা ঘটনা আমি বলছি, যেটা আজকের আলোচনার সঙ্গে আমি অতটা বেশি সম্পৃক্ত হতে পারছি না, কারণ আমার এই ব্যাপারে আরও বলার ভালো আছেন, সব প্রফেসর আছেন যারা ভালো বলতে পারবেন। যে আমি যখন হায়ার সেকেন্ডারি পরীক্ষা মানে 11-এ যখন উঠলাম আর কি, তখন যে ব্যাচটা ফার্স্ট হায়ার সেকেন্ডারি দিয়েছিল, তাদের মধ্যে ইংরেজিতে প্রচুর ফেল করা স্টুডেন্ট ছিল, যারা 75% উপর নাম্বার পেয়েছেন ওই সায়েন্স বা অন্য সাবজেক্টে, কিন্তু ইংরেজিতে ফেল প্রচুর। মানে যত ফেল হয়েছিল সেই বছর, তার মধ্যে 90% ছিল ইংলিশ সাবজেক্টে ফেল। 30-60 200 নম্বর ছিল, সেটা তোলাটা অসুবিধা ছিল আর কি। যাই হোক, তো আমাদের যিনি ইংরেজি পড়াতেন টিচার, তিনি প্রতিদিনই ক্লাসে এসে বসতেন যে আমার সাবজেক্টে তোমরা ফেল করবে, এটাই আমার সবচেয়ে খারাপ লাগছে। তোমরা রেগুলার একটু ইংরেজি পড়ো, কিন্তু আমার সাবজেক্টে আমি ভালো কিছু দেখতে পাচ্ছি না। আমাদের বলতেন তোমরা যদি 30-60 পেয়ে যাও, তাহলে আমি কৃতজ্ঞ এবং কৃতার্থ থাকবো। তোমরা দেখো 60 পাওয়া যায় কিনা, পাসটা করা যায় কিনা, কারণ প্রচুর ছেলে মেয়ে ফেল করেছে যাদের ক্যারিয়ার নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে মানে আপাতত ইংরেজির জন্য। যাই হোক, তো এবার আমি 11-এ শেষে যেয়ে স্যারকে বললাম যে আমি একটু টিউশন নেবো আপনার কাছে, যদি আপনি অ্যালাউ করেন। তো উনি বললেন না, আমার তো স্টুডেন্ট সব ভর্তি হয়ে গেছে, আমার আর কোনো ফাঁকা নেই আর কি। আর ঠিক আছে, তাই হোক। এবার ওনার বিশেষ বিশেষ প্রিয় ছাত্র ছিল, তার নাম হচ্ছে আশিস, আমার ক্লাসমেট। তাকে বেশি ফেভার করতেন সবসময়। এটা আমার একটু যা হয় ঈর্ষা হতো আর কি, যে স্যার ওকে বেশি প্রেফার করছেন সব ব্যাপারে। তো আমার তো একটা মনে মনে চ্যালেঞ্জ এসে গেলো যে ইংরেজি ও সায়েন্সের, আমি কমার্সের, ইংরেজিতে যদি আমি বেশি নম্বর পেতে পারি তাহলে ওকে আমি আমার একটু ভালো লাগবে আর কি। তো এই নিয়ে আমার পড়াশোনা শুরু হলো একা একা। যাই হোক, পরীক্ষা হলো, হলে পাশাপাশি বসেছি আমরা দুজন, 80 জন আমি। তো ও বললো আমাকে 14টা এসে পড়ে এসছি আমি। আমাকে তুই কটা? আমি 4টে পড়েছি, তার মধ্যে যা হয় হবে। তো যাই হোক, আমার সেটা একটা কমন পড়লো, সেটা হচ্ছে টেলিভিশন, তার সঙ্গে যোগ হলো ইটস ইউজেস ইন লাইফস। এটা আমার পড়ার মধ্যে ছিল না। যাক, সেটা আমি একটু ম্যানেজ করে লিখলাম আর কি, নিজে নিজে লিখলাম। ও আমাকে বলেছিল একটু এসেটা দেখাতে, কারণ ওর কমন পড়েনি 14টার মধ্যে। আমি তো দেখাইনি। আর সেই সময় যে প্রফেসর যিনি ছিলেন, ইনভিজিলেটর মানে গার্ড দিয়েছিলেন, উনি বললেন যে কেউ কাউকে কিছু দেখাবে না, যে দেখাবে সে কম নম্বর পাবে। এটাও একটা ব্যাপার হলো আর কি। যাই হোক, আলটিমেটলি ও বুঝে গেল আমি দেখাবো না, হলো। এটা মনে মনে একটা যুদ্ধ চলছে। তো রেজাল্ট যেদিন বেরোলো, আমি তো গেছি দূর থেকে ভাঙা সাইকেল নিয়ে, তাড়াতাড়ি গেছি, যে দেখি আশিস অলরেডি মার্কশিট নিয়ে দাঁড়িয়ে আছে। বললো আমি ইংলিশে হাইয়েস্ট, তোর চেয়ে আমি 4 নম্বর বেশি পেয়েছি, না সরি 1 নম্বর বেশি পেয়েছি। তাই আমি ভাবলাম যে 1 নম্বর বেশি পেয়েছি। আমি সত্যি খুব মনটা খারাপ হয়ে গেলো যে কী করে হলো এটা, এত চেষ্টা করলাম, জীবনের কোনো মানে থাকলো না, এটা মনে হচ্ছে আর কি, কষ্ট পাচ্ছি। এবার মার্কশিট নিয়ে আমার একটা সন্দেহ হচ্ছে যে ও হয়তো ভুল বলতে পারে, মানে এটা কেন আমার মাথায় ঢুকে গেল। আর ওই তুই মার্কশিটটা দেখা না একটু, ও দেখাবে না। বলছে আমি 128, তুই 127। আমি যে 1 নম্বর কম পেয়ে গেলাম। আমি আবার দেখতে চাইছি, কিন্তু ও কিছু দেখাবে না। এবার আমি খুব জোর করে বললাম তুই আমাকে দেখা। এবার দেখে আমি বললাম তোর ওটা 123, তুই 3টাকে 8-এর মতো দেখছিস। ঠিক আছে, আমার বোঝা হয়ে গেছে। আমি সোজা চলে গেলাম সেই ইংরেজি প্রফেসর টিচার যিনি পড়াতে নিন তার ক্লাসে। দুজন ক্লাস নিচ্ছেন, ক্লাস 10-এ। আমি বললাম স্যার, তো বললো হ্যাঁ তুই এসো, তুমি তো ইংলিশে হাইয়েস্ট, মানে যিনি আমাকে পড়াতে নেননি, টিউশন। যাই হোক, তো এইটা স্কুলে আর কোনো সেরকম কিছু ঘটনা নেই। কলেজে তো পড়াশোনা হলো। এবার মাস্টার ডিগ্রিতে যখন অ্যাডমিশন নিলাম এমকম, আমি ইভিনিংয়ে চয়েস করলাম ক্যালকাটা ইউনিভার্সিটি, কারণ ডেতে তখন চার্টার্ড অ্যাকাউন্টেন্সি পড়ার জন্য অ্যাডমিশন নিয়েছিলাম তার আগেই। তো ডেতে সিএর জন্য পড়াশোনা করছিলাম, আর রাতে মাস্টার ডিগ্রি মানে ইভিনিংয়ে। এবার বাবাও বারবার বলে এসছেন যে ভালো করে পড়াশোনা করতে হবে, অনেক পড়াশোনা করতে হবে, এবং একটা গেজেটেড অফিসারে ঢুকতে হবে, ক্লার্কের চাকরি, এইসব যে বলেছে চলবে না এইসব ব্যাপার। তা আমি মনের সুখে হোস্টেলে থাকছি, পড়াশোনা করছি, খুব ভালোই কাটছে। কিন্তু আমি যখন মাস্টার ডিগ্রি মানে ফাইনাল টার্ম এক্সাম দিচ্ছি, তখন আমার মাথায় একটা পরীক্ষা, আমাদের প্রতি রবিবার পরীক্ষা হতো, মানে এমকমের ফাইনাল পরীক্ষা। যেহেতু অনেকে চাকরি করে এমকম পড়তো ইভিনিংয়ে, সানডেতে এক্সাম হতো, সানডে পরের সানডে পরের সানডে, 1 মাসে 4টে পরীক্ষা হতো। তো আমি 2টো পরীক্ষার পরে প্রথম ভাবতে লাগলাম, মানে মনে একটা চিন্তা এলো যে আমি বোধহয় এবার বেকার হতে চলেছি। কোনোদিন ভাবিনি, প্রচণ্ড চিন্তা ভাবনা এসে গেল যে আমি তো বেকার হয়ে যাবে পরে, 2টো এক্সাম তারপরে বেকার। কলকাতা শহরে হোস্টেলে আছি, চলে যাবো গ্রামের বাড়িতে, লাইফ শেষ, আর তো চাকরি পাবো কিনা ঠিক নেই, এটা ওটা মাথায় এসে গেল। এর মধ্যে এক্সাম দিচ্ছি, তার মধ্যে পেপারে অ্যাড দিয়েছে কলেজ সার্ভিস কমিশন তাদের ইয়ের জন্যে। তো আমার তো এমকম ডিগ্রি হয়নি, করতে পারিনি। তারপর আবার যখন ডিগ্রি হয়ে গেল, তো কলেজ সার্ভিস কমিশনে আমি অ্যাপ্লাই করলাম। আর পিএসসির অডিট অ্যাকাউন্ট সার্ভিস, যেটা কমার্সের গ্র্যাজুয়েট হতে হয় বা মাস্টার ডিগ্রি, মানে আমি অ্যাপ্লাই করলাম। এবার আগে অডিট অ্যাকাউন্ট সার্ভিস পিএসসি পরীক্ষা হলো। আমার যে বেকার হয়ে যাবো এই ভয়ের থেকে মাথায় আমি সত্যি খুব যত্ন নিয়ে পড়াশোনা করলাম, একদম এমকমের মতো। এবং দেখলাম যে পরীক্ষায় কিছু কিছু অ্যাকাউন্টেন্সি কোশ্চেনে দেখি একটা কমন টমনও পড়ে গেছে আর কি, হয়তো ইউনিভার্সিটির প্রফেসর ছিলেন পেপার সেটার, সে জানি না। এবারে বালিগঞ্জে একটা স্কুলে পরীক্ষা হচ্ছে, প্রথম পরীক্ষা। আমি চলে গেলাম, বাংলা পরীক্ষা ছিল, একটা সাবজেক্ট আছে তো বাংলা, ইংরেজি, জেনারেল নলেজ। তো বাংলা পরীক্ষা দিয়ে আমি পরীক্ষা দিয়ে এসেছি, দিয়ে বেরিয়ে এসেছি রাস্তায়, মানে দোতলার স্কুল ছেড়ে বালিগঞ্জে। রাস্তায় এসে মনে পড়েছে আমি একটা কোশ্চেনের নাম্বার দিতে ভুলে গেছি বাদিকে, আবার দৌড়েছি। মানে তখন তো ভাবছি ভালো রেজাল্ট না হলে তো বেকার হয়ে যাবে, ওই নম্বর কেটে যাবে। যে সেই হেডমাস্টারকে বলেছি, হেডমাস্টার হয়তো না হবে না, এক্সাম হয়ে গেছে, খাতা বেঁধে ফেলেছি। এসে বললো, আমি স্যার আমি কিছু আনসার লিখবো না, শুধু বাদিকে আমি কোশ্চেনের নাম্বারটা লিখতে ভুলে গেছি, স্যার আমাকে একটু সুযোগ দিন স্যার। তো যাই হোক, আমার করুণ মুখ দেখে তো ওনার ভালো লেগেছে, খুলে দিয়েছে, আমি লিখেছি, হলো। যাক, আলটিমেটলি আমি পাশ করে গেলাম। পাশ করে যে ইন্টারভিউ লেটার পেলাম, পাওয়ার পরে যা হয় মেডিকেল টেস্ট হলো, তারপরে ঢুকে গেলাম। ঘটনাচক্রে আমার আমি তো রাইটার্সে জয়েন করলাম, রাইটার্সে ফিনান্স ডিপার্টমেন্টে জয়েন করলাম, তখন নবান্নে, তখন তো অনেক আগে। জয়েন করার পর আমাকে ফিনান্স থেকে বলা হল, ফিনান্স ডিপার্টমেন্ট থেকে 2 বছর এখানে থাকতে হবে, তারপর জেলায় পোস্টিং হবে। প্রথম পোস্টিং হয়েছিল, আপনারা শুনলে অবাক হয়ে যাবেন, তখন হলদিয়াতে সাব ডিভিশন হয়নি, তখনও হচ্ছে। হলদিয়াতে পোস্টিং হলো, এই হলদিয়ায় অ্যাডিশনাল ট্রেজারি অফিসার। আমাকে বলা হলো, মুখ্যমন্ত্রী যাচ্ছেন, আপনি রেডি থাকুন, আগের থেকে চলে যান, গেস্ট হাউসে থাকবেন। সিএম, তৎকালীন সিএম যিনি ছিলেন, উদ্বোধন করবেন মহকুমা এবং ট্রেজারি, আপনি ওখানে প্রথম অফিসার হিসেবে জয়েন করবেন। তা আমি কী কারণে বললাম, না আমি যাবো না, আমি বাড়ির কাছাকাছি থাকতে চাই। তারপর বললো যে এরপরে কিন্তু যেখানে সেখানে যেতে হবে। তারপরে পোস্টিং হলো আমাকে বাঁকুড়া। যাক, এভাবে জেলায় জেলায় ঘুরলাম, ট্রেজারি অফিসের বিভিন্ন পোস্ট এসে জয়েন করলাম, কাজ করলাম। আলটিমেটলি এখন তো কলকাতায় এসে পৌঁছেছি। এই পিএসসি পরীক্ষার জন্যে, মানে যারা ল পড়ছেন, এখানে সবাই ল স্টুডেন্টই আছেন, তাদেরকে আমি বলতে চাই যে পিএসসির জার্নিটা, এটা কিন্তু প্রথম একদম ফার্স্ট যেটা বলতে চাই, যে ডেইলি নিউজ পেপারটা পড়া, মানে কারেন্ট অ্যাফেয়ার্স এবং অনেক কিছু সেখানে থাকে। এক বা একাধিক নিউজ পেপার পড়ে সেখান থেকে তথ্যগুলো রেখে দেয়া। কারণ আমি দেখেছি এগুলো তো কারেন্ট অ্যাফেয়ার্স তো লিখতে কাজে লাগে, প্লাস ইন্টারভিউতে খুবই কাজে লাগে। যেমন আমি বলছি, আমাকে ইন্টারভিউতে জিজ্ঞেস করা হলো যে আপনি কোন স্কুলে পড়েছিলেন, বললাম গাইঘাট হাই স্কুল। কোনো কোশ্চেন হলো না। পিএসসি চেয়ারম্যান তার যে ছিলেন সঙ্গে, তারপরে কোন কলেজে পড়েছিলেন, আমি শ্রী চৈতন্য কলেজ অফ কমার্স। চৈতন্যদেব কে ছিলেন? তো আমি একটু থমকে গেছি। তো ওনারা বললেন, ওয়াজ হি এ চার্টার্ড অ্যাকাউন্টেন্ট অর ইঞ্জিনিয়ার অর ডক্টর? তারপরে উনি সোশ্যাল রিফর্মার ছিলেন। কীভাবে করলেন? আমি ভক্তি আন্দোলনের মাধ্যমে, বেশি খুব একটা বলতে পারিনি, কিছু একটা বললাম আর কি। ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা, উনি কত বছর আগে আবির্ভূত হয়েছিলেন? ভাবতে পারছেন, খুব টাফ কোশ্চেন। কিন্তু ঘটনাচক্রে মানে সেই সময় নিউজ পেপারে দিচ্ছিল 500 বছর পূর্তি উপলক্ষে চৈতন্যদেবকে স্মরণ করা হচ্ছে মহা ধুমধাম করে। আমি স্যার 500 বছরের কিছু বেশি। ইয়েস, গুড নিউজ পেপার, এটা ইন্টারভিউ। যাই হোক, নিউজ পেপারটা প্রথমে পড়তে হবে, এবং ল যে সাবজেক্ট এবং তার সঙ্গে যে সাবজেক্টগুলো আছে, যে ইলেকটিভ সাবজেক্ট চুজ করতে হবে, সেগুলো তো ভালো করে পড়তেই হবে। আর হচ্ছে জেনারেল নলেজ, কারেন্ট অ্যাফেয়ার্স পেপারও তো আছে, বই আছে। এবার একটু সজাগ থাকা আর কি, মানে একটু অ্যালার্ট থাকা, যে আমি তৈরি হব বা হচ্ছি, মানসিকতাটা তৈরি করা, যে চারিদিকে যা ঘটছে সেগুলো নিয়ে একটু সজাগ থাকা বা আলোচনা করা। কারণ ইন্টারভিউ তো কী জিজ্ঞেস করবে বলা খুব মুশকিল। একদম এমন জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারে যেটা পাশেই ঘটছে, হয়তো আমরা খেয়াল করছি না। সেজন্য সেটা একটু দেখার দরকার আছে। এবং সিরিয়াসলি অনেকে পিএসসি পরীক্ষা দিচ্ছে, কীরকম যাচ্ছে, আচ্ছা মানে এবার ট্রাই করছি, আর পরের বার দেখছি, এক্সপিরিয়েন্সটা হোক। এবার দেখা গেলো প্রথম দিন হল ভর্তি এক্সামিনি, পরের দিন দেখা গেল 20% কমে গেছে। প্রথম দিন বুঝে গেছে আর হবে না, আর আসছে না। এই করতে তার আলটিমেটলি যখন শেষ হলো পরীক্ষা, তখন যে 50% 60% চলে গেছে, মানে আসেনি পরীক্ষায়। যাই হোক, সেজন্য সবাইকে আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করবো, যারা স্টুডেন্ট তারা নিজের সাবজেক্ট পড়ার পাশাপাশি জেনারেল নলেজ, কারেন্ট অ্যাফেয়ার্স এবং এই ম্যাথটা 10 বেস হলেই চলবে। ক্লাস 10-এর অ্যারিথমেটিক, আমি সেটাকে জোর দিতে বলবো। আচ্ছা, আর হচ্ছে এই যে এআই তার যে মানে আইনের আঙিনায় এআইয়ের যে প্রবেশ, এ প্রবেশ তো মানে অবশ্যম্ভাবী, কেউ ঠেকাতে পারবে না, দরকারও নেই। কারণ এর অনেক ভালো দিকই আছে, খারাপ দিক তো আছেই। যেমন মোবাইল ইউজ যেটা হচ্ছে, খারাপ প্রচুর হচ্ছে, অনেকেই বেশি ইউজ করছেন, মানে অ্যাডিক্টেড হয়ে পড়ছেন। আবার মোবাইলে তো সত্যি অনেক তথ্যও পাওয়া যায়, অনেক কিছু পাওয়া যায়, বিভিন্ন সাইটে গেলে জ্ঞানার্জনের বহু কিছু আছে। এইবার আমরা কে কীভাবে ইউজ করছি সেটাই সবচেয়ে বড় কথা। সেজন্য এআই এখন মানে নতুন এমার্জিং সাবজেক্ট, কলেজে পড়ানো হবে। এআই এই যে আমি বললাম যে ধরুন যখন গ্রামে ছিলাম ছোটোবেলার স্কুলে দেখতাম কি যে আশেপাশের বাড়ির লোকজন সব সকালে উঠে পড়ে 5টা 5:30। আমাদের বাড়ির লোকও তাই, আমরাও তাই করেছি। এবার এই যে একটা কি বায়াস ইন ফেভার অফ সকালে ওঠা, এটা কিন্তু এআই দিয়ে এটা হবে না। কারণ এআই যে সেটা মানে মেশিন যে লার্নিং বা মেশিন টেকনোলজি, এ কিন্তু এই সোশ্যাল বায়াসনেস থাকবে না এর। আমার আগের বক্তা অনারেবল জাস্টিস তৌফিকুদ্দিন স্যার অনেক বলেছেন এআইয়ের ব্যাপারে, তাতে অ্যাপ্লিকেশন অফ ভেক্টর ম্যাট্রিক্স এবং হায়ার ম্যাথামেটিক্স, আমি যাচ্ছি না, উনি বলেছেন, খুব ভালোই বলেছেন। এই যে বিভিন্ন দিকগুলো, যে এথিক্যাল যে ব্যাপারগুলো, এথিক্যাল ব্যাপার এবং যেটা সোশ্যাল ব্যাপার, এটা তো এআই থাকবে না। এবার আমাদের সেটা ঠিক করতে হবে যে আমরা সেটা কীভাবে ইউজ করব। আমাদের কথা হচ্ছে এআই আমরা শিখব নিশ্চয়ই, নতুন যুগে বিভিন্ন ক্ষেত্রে, ইন্ডাস্ট্রি, হেলথ কেয়ার সিস্টেম, ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং, সমস্ত ব্যাপারেই পড়াশুনো, গবেষণা, রিসার্চ, তাতে এআই এখন অপরিহার্য লাগবে। কিন্তু আমরা যেন মূল থেকে বেরিয়ে না যাই, মানে মূল থেকে শিকড়চ্যুত না হই। কি মূল? যে মানবিক যে আদর্শ, মানবিকতা, সেটা থেকে আমরা বিচ্যুত হব না, সেটা আমাদের ঠিক থাকবে। আমরা এটাকে শিক্ষার একটা অংশ হিসেবে নেব, মানে আইনের আঙিনায় এবং আইনের সর্বোচ্চ মন্দির যে আদালত, সেখানে যেমন প্রয়োগ ঘটবেই, তারা তো ঠিকমতো ইউজ করবে, কিন্তু আমরা যারা শিক্ষার্থী তারা যেন এটা আমরা মনে রাখি যে আমরা মূল থেকে বিচ্যুত না হয়ে আমরা এআই শিখব আমাদের কাজের প্রয়োজনে, শিক্ষার প্রয়োজনে, গবেষণার প্রয়োজনে, জ্ঞান বাড়ানোর জন্যে, জ্ঞান কাজে লাগানোর জন্যে। এই বলে সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আমি শেষ করছি। নমস্কার।
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing invaluable thoughts and motivating and guiding our students for their future journey. Now, it is my honor to introduce our distinguished expert who stands at the forefront of artificial intelligence and machine learning, Dr. Bidesh Chakraborty, professor and head of department in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning at Haldia Institute of Technology, Haldia. Dr. Bidesh Chakraborty, sir, is a professor and HOD with a specialization in AI ML. With 16 years of teaching experience, he is recognized as an expert in his field. His current research centers on AI, computer vision, focusing on topics like image classification, segmentation, and object detection. Though his earlier research interests included cellular automata, Dr. Chakraborty earned his BTech degree from West Bengal University of Technology in 2005, followed by a Masters of Engineering from the Indian Institute of Engineering Sciences and Technology, Shibpur, where he also completed his PhD in 2019. Over his academic career, he has made significant contributions to index journals and conference proceedings through numerous research publications. I would like to request, sir, to please take the dais. I would request our esteemed guests to take the seats below the podium.
Hello, hello. Hello? Please silence. May I audible? Hello. Okay, so may I start? Okay. So, good afternoon to all respected principals, sir, and the advisory body and all the faculty members of Haldia Law College. And it's my privilege to present here in the workshop, Navigating Artificial Intelligence in the Legal Arena, Balancing Innovation with Ethical and Legal Responsibility. So, myself, Dr. Videsh Chakraborty, and I am professor of HIT EIML department. So, there are two things that we have to discuss here. The first one is AI. So, AI is very new, I think, to you. And the second one is law. So, law is not my domain. Law is not my domain, but what I will do, I will try to align this AI in law so that here I will explore how AI can be used in law. So, just going to the next slide. So, this is the contents that I would like to discuss now. First of all, introduction of AI, and then machine learning and its classification. So machine learning is very, very important. Not only machine learning, deep learning, everything is very, very important to build a model. So without building a model, we cannot make a AI system or AI design, AI tool. And then I would like to discuss the key ethical principles of AI. And the next one is what? AI in your legal research. The next point, that is, identify the fake images on videos. This topic or that part is very, very important nowadays, because we know that every time using deepfake, we can make some fake videos, we can make some fake images, and we will circulate it to our social media. So we need to understand how the image, how the fake images or how the fake videos can be built, and how we can detect whether the video is fake or real. And the last one is what? If time permits, then definitely I will say that. AI in intellectual property law. So I will start with the introduction, and in the introduction, first I would like to discuss what is artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Already the sir has said the very good statement. So in artificial intelligence, we have two independent words. One is what? Artificial. So artificial means what? It's not real. It's not real. And what intelligence means? Intelligence means the way we can take the decision. The way we can take the decision. That means the way a human can take the decision. So if we build a model, and that model have the capability to make decision, then it will be a AI. Is it clear? Is it clear? Though here in machine learning or artificial intelligence, lots of mathematics are there, but my objective is just to remove everything, and in the way I will say that, so everybody can understand. So, there are lots of AI examples. Here also I have written one, a chatbot answering customer query. That also everywhere you can see, in every website. Suppose if I want to open the website of HIT or Haldia Law College, then also there some box will come, and how we can help you for admission. This is what? This is a chatbot. Okay? So, broadly, AI can be classified as narrow AI. Narrow AI means what? A specialized in one task. is specialized in one task. Some example, say Siri or Google Translate or Alexa that performs what? A certain thing. Okay, now here I am giving you another example. Say, this is one my publication. Yeah, it's not coming. It's not coming. So what I want to show that it's my publication where we have built a deep learning based, it means machine learning based model, and that model can detect or identify the Indian snakes. So we have taken 16 different categories. Python is there, rattlesnake is there, Indian crate is there, and so. So we have made a model in such a way that whenever a new snake is appear, just capturing the picture, your system will say that, yes, it's venomous or non-venomous. Okay, so this kind of AI is basically belongs to narrow AI. Is it clear? That means that can perform a specialized task, Next one is what? General AI. So in general AI, that can do multi-level tasking as a human does. That means now giving a lecture here, I can think that in my department clusters is going on. So that means what? Multi-level or multiple tasks you can do at a time in a simple model, in a single model. Okay, so this is basically previous one. This is basically previous one. This is basically all belongs to general AI. So human level intelligence across domains, not yet, but still it not achieved. And the third one is what? Super AI. Play mode. Super AI that also have the same functionality of general AI, but it will be much more faster. And the accuracy is also much more than the previous one. And it now exists theoretically now. Okay, the next one. Animation. Okay, so next I will discuss the brief history of AI. So if you want to know AI, you have to understand the history. So again in the year of 1950, the mathematician, the scientist, the philosopher, Alan Turing proposes one Turing test. So who was Alan Turing? Alan Turing, we can say the father of computer. Because on that time, maybe in the year of 1937 or 38, he has given an abstract model of today's computer. Okay, so in the year of 1950, what he claimed, what he said, that if in future, if the computer is much more smarter, then computer can perform what a human thing. Computer can perform what human perform. Okay, and the term AI, the term coined in the conference of Dartmouth conference in USA by John McCarthy in the year of 1956. Okay, and after that in 1980, the expert system became popular. So what is expert system? This is the first kind of AI device I will discuss maybe in my next slide. And on that time, Mycene, Dendrol, this kind of expert system was very popular. And now we are in the 5th generation of AI. In the year of 2012, we can access GPU. So I think everybody knows what is CPU, what is GPU. CPU is what? General purpose computer, central processing unit is there. Okay, but for gaming purpose, For gaming purpose, somebody may have used GPU. So this GPU is very, very important. Without GPU, we cannot implement, we cannot run any machine learning or especially any deep learning program. So this GPU access is now very easy. From Google Colab, from the cloud of Google, from the cloud of Kaggle, I have a Kaggle account, and I basically use to the GPU of Kaggle. Either in free, or for that you have to pay some little amount. Okay, now why AI matters today and why today's workshop? So AI in everywhere, AI in healthcare, for any kind of disease detection, AI in finance, AI in education, AI in legal, first legal search, contract analysis, predictive judgment, everywhere. I will discuss what is contract analysis, how contract analysis can be performed, how predictive judgment can be performed. Okay. So, and the examples of AI in daily life that everybody, either knowingly or unknowingly, use, that is Google Maps. This application basically optimizes the routes using live traffic, Netflix, everybody, or maybe the 90%, Alexa, we are all using this. Now, this slide is also very, very important, and it has a great impact. So, AI versus human intelligence. So, what is the difference? What is the difference? AI is very fast and tireless. AI is not human. That's why it's a machine. It can work, it can perform 24/7, no issue. But the main problem is that humans have emotional intelligence, moral reasoning, adaptability that is not in AI. But now in today's era, we are also trying to improve the AI model such that it can recognize face, it can recognize emotions, it can recognize everything. So, the types of AI approaches. So now I will say how we can make an AI system, maybe for your legal purpose, for your law application purpose. Okay, so there are 3 ways. First one is what? Rule-based way. That also in my previous slides, I have said for expert system that was very popular in the year of 1980s. So on that time, it follows a very simple rules. If then rules. If raining, I will not go. If I am not hungry, I will skip my dinner. So there are so many if then statements. We have to make our system on that time in the year of 1980 in such a way that there are lots of if then statements. Okay? Number 2 is what? Machine learning. So exact the flavor of AI will come when we use machine learning. It's a purely data-driven application. Based on your past data, based on your data set, based on your data, basically data, it will predict or it will classify. Okay? And the third one is what? That is deep learning, which is nothing but the subset of machine learning. And here basically we use neural networks. So what is neural networks? That basically mimic the human brain. So how human brain thinks, how human brain works to take a decision. The same way, artificial neural network will also perform the same thing. That is basically known as deep learning. So in deep learning, we can do anything. We can do work on videos. We can do work on image. We can do work from any kind of text analysis and all. Suppose though I am not a law person, suppose what we have heard several times from news and all, there is a chart sheet of 1,000 pages. 1,000 pages chart sheet. There is a judgment of 200,000 pages. I don't know what is there in that judgment. What is there, what kind of things is written there. But the AI-enabled applications can extract the main clauses from that 200, 300, 500 pages chart sheet. So that is one application of AI in your legal arena. That also I will discuss. So this is a rule-based AI that already I have said. It is a type of artificial intelligence that makes the decision or perform actions based on a set of predefined rules. So this predefined rules means what? Predefined rules means if, then, if means what? Condition. Condition and then action. Condition, then action. Condition, then action. So that was popular in the year of 1980. Not now. Not now. Nobody will rely on this system. So now we are at the arena of the planning, that also I will discuss. Now, here in rule-based AI, there is a knowledge base. Knowledge base. So in knowledge base, there are few if statements, if else statements, and then one inference engine, and then one user interface. So in user interface, you have to write something, you have to put your query, your inference engine will scan your query and it will extract the result. It will extract the result from your knowledge base. That was the first AI in the year of 1980s. Now, another simple example from rule-based AI. Say, smart thermostat. So what the rule is there? If room temperature is less than 20 degrees centigrade, what action the machine has to do? Turn on the heater. So rule number 2 is there. What room temperature is? If the room temperature is greater than 25, then turn on the air conditioner. And if the temperature is less than 25, greater than 20, then everything will be off. So this is what, using these 3 rules here, for example, I have written only 3 rules. So using these 3 rules, you can make a knowledge base. Okay? Now, in the user interface, you have to put this query. Let's say the room temperature is 18. So if the room temperature is 18, so in user interface, you can write or by a IoT device, Internet of Things, that term also, So using some sensors or some IoT device, if it can extract that, now the room temperature is 18. So if that, then what your AI system will do? So since this 80 is less than 20, the system turns on the heater. So this is an example, that's why I have given only 3 if statements. So in a, in an expert system, there may be 300, there may be 3,000 if then statements. Now machine learning. So this is the main thing of AI, machine learning. How machine will learn. Machine learning means what? How machine will learn. Now tell me one thing, and again I am giving you a very simple example. How we learn, this is sun or this is moon or this is cow, this is goat. How we can understand, how we can learn. Tell me, कैसे हम लोग सीखे थे जी वो सूर्य है वो सन है वो मून है दिस इज गोट दिस इज काउ कब सीखे थे हम लोग एट द एज ऑफ 1.5 और 2 कैसे सीखे थे मेरे मदर कीप मी in her lap and said that babu this is moon this is moon this is moon. So this is the way we have learned that is moon. Am I wrong? This is the way by which we understand or we learn that this is moon or that is sun. So this is the ultimate real life example of machine learning. There will be no logic. You cannot mention any logic explicitly. You cannot mention any logic explicitly. Instead of that, there are lots of previous data. And based on that data, your model that you will build with using machine learning, that will classify, that will predict something. That will predict something. I'm giving you another example, a very simple example. Say, my objective is to determine x cube. X cube. Very simple mathematics. X cube. So, let's assume that x is equals to 2. So if x is equals to 2, what will be the value of y? If y is equals to x cube, definitely it will be 8. It will be 8. It means what? 2 into 2 into 2, nothing else. No rocket science is there. Very simple thing. Now, if x is 3, what will be the value? If x is 3, y, what the value? 27. Okay? Now, we can solve this problem using a very simple coding. So, what is the logic? Whatever the programming language, you can consider, you can write the program in C, you can write the programming in C++, Java, Python. The main logic that you have to provide, that is y is equals to x into x into x. So this is the logic that you have to put explicitly in your program. So this is what logic based. But in machine learning, we will not provide the logic explicitly. Instead of, we will give a table like this. Say this is x value, this is y value. Say this is x2, here this is 3. Let's assume that this is 2.5, 4, 4.5 and all. Maybe there are 500 data. And your model will infer everything from here. And then it will predict if the x is 7, then what will be the value of 7 cube? Is it clear? So, for machine learning, we will not provide the logic explicitly. Whatever it will learn from the data. My mother did not say that on the time. Why this is sun? Why this is sun? That means the logic. My mother on the time did not say. What my mother said on the time? Babu, this is sun. Is it clear? Now, on the time, suppose you learn what is cow. Okay? Next, whenever you will see a buffalo or you will see a goat, you also claim that this is also a cow. Because almost similar, and your learning is not totally complete because you are in 1.5 years old, 1.5 or 2 years old. So, several times, whenever you will see cow, whenever you will see buffalo, on that time, unknowingly, you will make the difference. So, how you can make the difference? Because on that time, say after 3.5 or after 4.5, you can understand, you can find the more features from the cow and from the dog or buffalo. And then you can make the differentiate. So this one is cow, this one is goat, and this one is buffalo and all. So, as much as you have data, your model will be smarter. Your model will be smarter. And if your data is wrong, if your data is biased, then what prediction it will do or your system will do, that is also wrong. Because on the time, saying son, if my mother said that, Babu, this is moon. So what I will learn? I will learn this is moon. That means if your previous data is biased or if your previous data is wrong, that means your model will calculate or model will predict the wrong thing. So that is very, very important for AI and machine learning. So if your data, तुम्हारा data में कुछ problem है तो whatever be the model, how rich model it will develop, it will give you the poor result. It will give you the poor result. So data should be very, very good. Okay, so machine learning. So machine learning is a type of AI where computers learn from data, that I'm trying to say, instead of following fixed rules. The more data you give, the better model gets at making predictions or decision. So that basically I'm trying to say. Here I've given you a simple example of a house price prediction. There may be so many features, but for simplicity, I have considered only 1, 2, 3 features. So what are the features? The size of the house in square feet, number of bedrooms, how many bedrooms are there, and the location. So based on 3 features, your house price will be calculated. Here I have put only 3 data. Maybe there are 3,000 data. There are so many machine learning algorithms. Linear regression is there, logistic regression is there, support vector machine is there, XGBoost is there, decision tree is there, random forest is there, but everywhere, there are so many mathematics. But just try to understand, these are all the machine learning algorithm. So this algorithm trained on that data. जैसे मेरा माँ बोला था मेरे को, on the time I was trained by my mother. So here, this algorithm, maybe linear regression or logistic regression, using this algorithm, your model is trained on that data, And after that, the model is quite capable to predict. Okay? So here, this part is what? This is basically label. That means these are the feature. If the size of the house is 1,000 square feet, if there are 2 bedrooms, and if the location is suburban, then the price is something. If this, then the price is something. So that kind of data is known as label data. So what is the label? Label is this. This is the label. Okay? So the learning phase is what? The machine learning model looks for the pattern. Bigger house cost more. City, locations are more expensive. Maybe if you want to buy a house in Kolkata, same, maybe 100 square feet or 850 square feet, 2 bedroom, the cost is much more than 150 square feet size of the house along with 3 bedroom in Haldia. That means location matters. Number of bedroom matters, everything. There may be another few features. Whenever we'll try to buy a flat, then how many features we'll consider? Not only these 3. There are so many features. The school distance, the market from our flat distance, the distance between hospital and this, everything. So these are all the different features. Here, for example, I have considered only 3. Now, classification of machine learning. So what is machine learning? In a very brief, I think everybody can understand. Now the classification means what? Supervised learning. The example that already I have given, that also belongs to supervised learning, as because the dataset contains label. Similarly, we have unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, there will be no label data. That means only features are there. Only features are there. And the last one is what? Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning. That example also I will give. That is also very interesting. Very interesting. Reinforcement learning. So the supervised learning that already I have given, I have explained with some another example. Now here, this is another example. Say, this is one feature, size, this is the color, and here this is label. Okay? There may be lot of feature. Otherwise, you cannot identify whether is that is apple or banana or something. But here also, I have considered only two, nothing more. The same thing, the same way. So this is the label. This is the label. And so this is one algorithm, because already I have said there are lot of algorithm, and it's not in the scope to discuss here. So the very simple one, that is linear regression, very simple one. So that's why I have put here. Okay, so let's assume that this is your data points. Here this is the size and price. I have considered only a single feature here. I have considered only a single feature size. So if I consider more than one, so using 2D plot, you cannot define it. So for that, multi-dimensional graph will be there. And it's very difficult to explain. So that's why I have considered only a single feature, that is size. Okay? And these are all the different price. So if the size is something like 800, then these are all the data points. Now you can check here, there are some data points that are far from all. So this kind of data is basically known as outlier. Let's assume that I will make another example. So let's assume that this is one graph. Okay, here this is hour, and here this is exam result. So if you study 2 hours in a day, let's assume that if somebody studied 2 hours in a day, maybe he got 30%. Say this is 30%. If somebody studied 4 hours in a day, let's assume that the result will be, say, 50%. If somebody study for 6 hours in a day, let's assume that the result will be, say, 80% or 90%. Okay, so there are so many features again. Not only the study hour, how to study, what to study, how you can study, what problem you are solving. There are so many features. So again, for simplicity, I have considered only one feature, that is hour. Now, here also, maybe some students are there who study 2 hours or less than 2 hours, but perform a very good result. Maybe यहाँ पे, और ऐसा भी हो सकता है, regular 8 to 10 days, he or she is doing study, but again, your performance is not up to the mark. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. So these are basically the exception. So these are the outlier. So if there is outlier in your data set, you have to remove this. Because if you consider all the data, then you cannot predict. Your predicted value will be wrong. So that's why if the data points that are far away from the line, So these are all outlier. So I will not consider this. I will not consider this. Exception, you cannot consider exception in your mainstream. You cannot consider. Otherwise, your prediction will be wrong. Okay? So using linear regression, here our basic objective is to find a line, So how to find that line? How to draw this line? This is what? You have to draw the line, the line maybe here, the line maybe here. So why the line is here? So you have to draw, or your linear regression model will draw the line in such a way that the average Euclidean distance between all the data points to the line, if you add all divided by all the points, so it will be minimum. So in linear regression, your basic objective or the objective of the algorithm is what? To make a line. And then if the value is, say, 2100, this is what size. So if the size is 2100, it will predict here. This will be the price. Okay? If this is 2300, it will predict this one. So that this line will intersect the point that will be your predicted point. Okay? So this is your this is a linear regression. Next, another one, that is k nearest neighbor. So using machine learning, we can do two type of thing. One is classification, and another one is what? Prediction. So in last example, we have predicted the price. We can predict the weather condition. We can predict the rainfall. We can predict everything. Two things are different. One is prediction, one is classification. Classification means what? You have to classify whether the tumor is benign or malignant. This is the classification problem. Is it clear? This snake belongs to common crate, python, Russell viper, Indian crate and all. This is what? Multi-class classification. So classification is also two types. One is binary classification, another one is multi-class classification. So I am not going to detail on binary classification and multi-class classification. So there is another algorithm, k-NET algorithm. So now unsupervised, as already I have said, for unsupervised algorithm, there will be no label point. So what we have to do here? Here in unsupervised learning, your algorithm is basically find the patterns from the data, finds the relation between the features of the data. Okay? So that kind of thing you have to do for unsupervised learning. Okay. Now the reinforcements, as I've said already. So reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning where an agent learns by interaction with his environment. An agent can learn by interaction with its environment and receives reward or punishment for its action. A simple, again, one real life example. Say, teaching a dog tricks. Okay? So your objective is to what? To teach your dog to sit. So for that, what logic will apply? What steps will perform? You are teaching your dog to sit. So when the dog sits correctly, you give the dog a treat. That is action. Okay? So that is what? That is reward. And when the dog jumps or runs instead of sitting, you just paralyze them. You said the dog, no. So this is the way by which dog can understand when the owner will say, sit down, he will sit. Okay? So here, tell me, here the agent is what? agent is dog. The actions, sit, jumps, runs, these are all different actions. So over the time, the dog learns, if I sit when told, I get a treat. That means, agar dog बैठेगा तो the dog will get some treat, some reward. Otherwise, it will be paralyzed by its owner. So this is the main backbone of reinforcement learning. So here, the agent, dog is the agent. The environment is what? Your home or training area, where you have to train to your dog. Your action is what? Sit, jump, run, etc. These are all the actions that the dog can do. And then the reward, that is straight positive or no negative. And the policy is what? The dog strategy, sit to get treat. That means after, over time, this is the policy or this is the result that will adapt by your dog after completion of that training. That means if the owner said to sit, and if the dog is sit, the dog will get some treat. Then another, I am not going to the detail of machine learning, going to the detail of reinforcement algorithm, and I will not go into detail of deep learning also. But deep learning, already I have said, it's nothing but a artificial neural network. So we know that in our brain there are millions of neurons that basically contributes to make decision. Neuron hai na hum logo ka. The same neuron is there in deep learning. The same way. So these are the neurons structure. This is dendrites, then nucleus. This is cell body. Using dendrites, it will get the inputs. Then in the cell body, it will process those inputs, and then the result will be circulated by the axiom. The same way here in deep neural network or artificial neural network also. So these are the inputs that will go to the cell body. This is the cell body. Here all will be added with their different weights, and then using some activation function, it will decided whether this neuron will send the information to the next layer or not, The same way our brain shares the information from one neuron to another neuron, the same way artificial neural network also do the same thing. So this is another example of deep learning. Now, the workflow of MLDL model. So how to create a machine learning model, how to create a deep learning model, what are the steps? First, data collection. You have to gather data. And again, whenever we will gather data, it's very clear that the data should be very specific. There will be no redundant data and there will be no wrong data. Because if there are wrong data, your model will learn this wrong data and it will give the wrong prediction or wrong classification. The same way we teach to our daughter, our boy. Okay, so first data collection. After collection of data, you have to pre-process those data. Pre-processing. In pre-processing, what you have to do? You have to do handling missing values, removing duplicates. That's why already I have said that it should be unambiguous. There will be no redundancy. And then you have to scale the data. And another some things that you have to do. Okay? Now another something. What it means? Suppose you were preparing one data set for two class One is cancer class and another one is non-cancer class. Okay? Now, for that, if you go to Bisra hospital, if you go to anywhere, so the history of the patients, maybe 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% patients isn't cancer. Then 80%, 90% are having no cancer. Okay, that means one class contains lots of data and another class contains very less data. This is basically known as data imbalance. Data imbalance. So if your data set contains data imbalance, then again your model will give you wrong data. Your model will give you wrong data. Okay, so you have to make the data set in such a way that there will be a equivalence. If not, then what? Then there are different some algorithms by which you can generate synthetic data also. You can generate synthetic data. There are so many algorithms, both algorithms, and there are other algorithms. Using synthetic data also, you can recover these problems. Okay? So these are all belongs to pre-processing and then training. So whole data set can be divided. Whole data set can be divided into either 80-20 or 70-30 or 85-15 as you wish. Using this 85% data, you can use for training purpose. And then after trained, whenever your model is built, then using this 15%, you can test whether your model runs perfectly, whether your model predicts perfectly, whether your model classifies perfectly or not. So these are and after that, you have to deploy it. Deploy means what? Based on that, you have to make an app. That means you have to deploy your model in the web. You can deploy your model in any IoT system also. So this is the deployment phase. So already I have said there are everywhere we use AI. Now, this slide is also important for you people. how we can determine the ethical, how we can use or enable, impose ethical principles in AI. So first point is what? Transparency or explainability. AI decisions should be interpretable. AI decisions should be interpretable. What it means? Suppose you want to get a loan from any bank. Suppose you want to get a loan from any bank. So for that, what you have to do? There are some online applications. You have to put your name, you have to put your address, your age, your sex, your nationality, everything. Along with what? Your credit score, your salary, and how many years you have to serve. These are all the features. You put everything and submit it. Now, after 2 days, 3 days, or after 5 minutes, you will get the response that you are not eligible to get loan now. You will not eligible to get the loan now. So how the bank manager decides? How the manager will decide? There also some AI application is going on. Okay, so after trained, your model is black boxed. Your input is what? Your features, your name, your address, your age, your salary, your credit score and all. And the output is what? The binary output. It's again a binary classification. You are eligible to get the loan or you are not eligible to get the loan. That means a binary classification, either 0, either 1 or 1. So whenever you got the message or the response from the bank side that you are not eligible to get the loan, then one question definitely comes to your mind that why I am not eligible? Why I am not eligible? So for that, explainable AI